My envious brother's wife insisted on learning our chosen names for the babies so she could claim them before us. I supplied her with bogus ones, and she bought into it completely. However, my reaction caught her off guard. My name is Maya, a 31-year-old woman, wed to David, who is 34 and male, for 4 years now. We share a toddler son aged 2, and I'm pregnant with twins, one male and one female. This involves David's brother's spouse, Rachel, aged 36 and female, wed to his sibling Marcus, 39, and male. Their marriage spans 6 years. Rachel and I are polar opposites. She's boisterous, always dominating conversations at family events, and voices her views on all topics. I like keeping to myself and observing others. When David first brought me to meet his relatives, I predicted that Rachel and I wouldn't become tight buddies. We've kept things civil but detached ever since. The issue began 2 years back during my initial pregnancy. Rachel and Marcus had struggled with conception for a long time without luck. At group meals, if anyone brought up my condition, Rachel would swiftly shift the topic or remark that carrying a child isn't remarkable because countless females do it annually. She'd then vanish to the restroom for extended times. Midway through that pregnancy, Rachel abruptly proposed organizing my celebration for the baby. I turned it down courteously, explaining my mother and sibling were handling it. She persisted for weeks until I had to firmly state my disinterest in her participation. The oddest actions commenced after we revealed we were expecting a boy. Rachel fixated on discovering our intended name for him. At every family meetup, call, or message, she'd inquire about it. When I'd explain we were keeping it secret until delivery, she'd show clear irritation and complain about our secrecy. David and I selected a classic Irish moniker uncommon in our region. Following our son's arrival and name reveal, Rachel couldn't stop raving about its distinctiveness and charm. She'd mention it constantly, informing all how she'd never encountered such an ideal choice. This persisted for months. Jumping to this year, Rachel finally conceived around when I did with the twins. She was roughly 8 weeks ahead. As soon as we shared news of the twins, she resumed grilling us on names. But now for both genders, since we had one each, her remarks grew harsher. She'd jest about me likely doubling my weight gain with twins and how my figure might never bounce back. During a family cookout when someone praised us, she proclaimed loudly that we timed our pregnancy deliberately after hers to overshadow her. All knew we'd attempted a second child for more than a year. I chose to disregard her barbs entirely. Rachel feeds on conflict and disputes, so I thought the top way to irk her was by offering zero response. After weeks of her relentless queries on the twin names, I grew wary. I questioned David if he believed Rachel sought our names to adopt them first. Given her earlier due date, he chuckled initially, then saw my seriousness. Upon reflection, he conceded it could happen. That's when I chose to verify my hunch. David's father had his 60th birthday celebration at our home the next weekend. We've been gradually preparing a room for the twins in our extra bedroom, though it wasn't complete. I devised a scheme to leave phony names in a spot Rachel might discover if she poked around. I searched online and created personalized wall stickers with 2 names I appreciated but far from our true picks: Emma Claire and Noah James. I completed the design process but halted before paying. Instead, I printed the confirmation sheet showing both names plainly. The evening prior to the event, I folded it and placed it in the dresser's middle compartment in the baby room, appearing casually stashed. I ensured a corner protruded slightly to catch attention if the drawer opened. David viewed my idea as absurd but accepted a $20 wager that Rachel wouldn't pry. The gathering was at our residence, so we were occupied hosting and didn't track Rachel's movements all night. Next morning, I inspected the baby room. All seemed identical. The paper remained in places left. David and I assumed the experiment flopped and moved on. Yet, I observed something peculiar. Rachel ceased all questions about our baby names post-event. For someone who'd nagged us every day for weeks, the abrupt quiet was strange. Rachel delivered her son 3 weeks later. David and I visited the hospital to greet our nephew. When I asked the child's name, Rachel beamed widely and declared it was Noah James. She stared straight at me, awaiting a strong response rather than seeming distressed. I overdid the positivity. I effused over how lovely the name was, how ideal it flowed, how fortunate they were with that pairing. I continued for a solid minute as Rachel's face transitioned from triumphant glee to bewilderment to clear aggravation. David struggled to stifle laughter next to me. In the elevator later, he passed me $20 while shaking his head. We avoided Rachel and Marcus for the following few weeks, allowing them time with their newborn, David's mother. Noted that Rachel appeared to struggle more than anticipated with being a new parent, perhaps facing postpartum sadness. When I shared the tale with my sibling, she giggled at first, but then suggested I was somewhat cruel for ensnaring Rachel that way. I can't determine if my action was mistaken. Rachel had made my pregnancy difficult with her endless requests and rude remarks. The phony names weren't even ones I valued for future use, but perhaps I crossed a line with the setup. Ought I regret this? First update. The matter with Rachel has become more intricate than anticipated. Let me provide additional context on why Rachel and I have never meshed. The trouble originated when David and I became engaged after just 8 months together. Rachel commented to Ken about me hurrying David into wedlock and likely ensnaring him somehow. When David's grandma expressed excitement for another granddaughter, Rachel emphasized hoping David was certain of his pick. Our nuptials worsened it. David and I held a standard church service with 150 attendees, then a reception at a golf club. We honeymooned in Ireland for 10 days. In contrast, Rachel and Marcus wed at the courthouse with close kin only, then dined at a franchise eatery. Marcus proposed after Rachel issued a marriage ultimatum, known to all relatives. Rachel also resented how David's kin welcomed me instantly. His mother and I share hobbies and temperaments. His grandma, called Nana by all, began inviting me to her regular shopping, outings, and weekend meals right away. Rachel had dated Marcus for 3 years pre-marriage, but Nana never bonded with her similarly. The difference grew starker after David and I purchased our suburban home 2 years ago. Rachel and Marcus still lease a tiny urban apartment due to inability to purchase in their locale. David and I hold stable office positions with solid perks, whereas Rachel and Marcus have retail roles with irregular hours. About a year back, at Marcus's birthday bash, Rachel overindulged in alcohol and quarreled with him over finances before everyone. She stated she should have wed David instead since he had his act together. The group fell silent. I wasn't shocked. I'd suspected Rachel harbored feelings for David for years from her behavior around him. I replied by asking which sibling she meant, as it would be improper either way, noting David and Marcus have a younger brother, Tyler, aged 25. Rachel exploded and screamed at me for distorting her words. She asserted the next day she recalled no improper statements. Now the latest development, David's mother visited yesterday to plan my baby celebration next month. I'm due late January, but twins may arrive early, so we're scheduling for December. While here, I inquired how Rachel and Marcus were adapting to parenting. David's mother sighed deeply and said it was complex. Per her, Rachel and Marcus disputed baby names even pre-delivery. Rachel spent months compiling female names, but ignored male ones. When Marcus questioned it, Rachel insisted the child would be female, if somehow male. She wanted Marcus Jr., sparking a major row because Marcus's older son from prior isn't named after him. The boy resides with his mom out of state and visits biannually. Marcus felt naming the new one Junior would unfair his first. David's mother explained Rachel convinced herself of a girl because she craved one intensely. Rachel avoided gender scan during pregnancy, fearing let down. She kept claiming she needed to savor her pregnancy. Convinced of a daughter, family setup strengthened Rachel's girl desire. David's mother is the sole daughter among 3 brothers, and she bore 3 sons. My son was her initial grandson, but my daughter would be her first granddaughter in years. When we revealed the girl, David's mother wept joyfully. David's mother has always been courteous to Rachel, but they never connected. She's adoring of my toddler son in the kindest manner. They have weekly grandma-grandson outings. Rachel observed this bond form and believed a daughter would finally earn David's mother's affection like me. When Rachel birthed another grandson instead of the dreamed granddaughter, her mindset altered. The hospital moment was Messier then. I knew Rachel and Marcus were still debating names when David and I arrived. Rachel had never shared Noah James with Marcus before then. When she declared it to us, Marcus appeared stunned and furious. He had no clue about those names and disliked them intensely. Marcus declined to endorse the birth record with those names. They exited the hospital without official naming, per state rules. Parents have 10 days post-birth to register a name. Rachel eventually told Marcus to select anything. Since she no longer cared, Marcus chose Jordan Ollie. Jordan after his top basketball star and Ollie after the fighter. He retained Ollie from Rachel's choice but altered the rest. Thus, the baby was never truly named Noah James. Rachel's bid to use my phony names lasted only until Marcus asserted himself. David's mother says Rachel has been reclusive since hospital discharge. She meets the baby's essential needs, but seems detached from all else. She wept to David's mother last week, saying she'll likely never have a daughter given her age and past infertility issues. I now genuinely pity Rachel. Despite her torments, a healthy baby should suffice. But I get the disappointment from months of built expectations. Ironically, Rachel's crisis might bond her with David's mother. As they share wanting daughters, but having only sons, Rachel still doesn't know I baited her with fake names, and I've told no family about the ploy. Some might advise confession, but I see no benefit in worsening her state now. I'm not remorseful for my action. Rachel stressed my pregnancy with constant demands and cutting comments, but I'm not vicious enough to attack someone already suffering. Second update. Rachel discovered my name ploy, and the consequences have exceeded expectations. I delivered the twins early January, Emma Rose and Samuel David. Yes, Emma was a fake name, but it was legitimately on our girl list long before the setup. Mere coincidence that fueled extra turmoil later. Both infants are healthy, and we're adapting to 3 kids under 3. David took 2 weeks off to assist, and his mother comes daily to help with the elders. The issue arose when David's mother held Emma and remarked on the name's beauty. She recalled seeing it somewhere lately, but couldn't pinpoint. I offered a vague reply about its popularity. That night, David's mother phoned. She'd remembered spotting Emma on paper in our baby room dresser during David's dad's birthday event. She said she'd sought baby wipes when a child had a mishap. I mentioned supplies in the dresser. Opening it, she saw the paper's corner and adjusted it. She glimpsed it, noting both names, Emma Claire and Noah James. David's mother assumed those were our picks and thought little then. But when Rachel announced Noah James at hospital, David's mother realized Rachel likely saw the same. She connected the dots. Rachel rummaged in our baby room, found what she thought real names, tried using one first. David's mother was upset Rachel invaded our privacy and that I resorted to a trap. I chose to reveal the full truth about my doubts and fake name plan. David's mother disapproved of the deceit, but grasped my motive. She was angrier about Rachel's prying than my scheme. The trouble came when David's mother couldn't keep quiet. She told David's dad, who informed Marcus during an unrelated call. Marcus confronted Rachel, who denied at first but admitted rummaging the dresser. Per Marcus, Rachel collapsed upon realizing the trick. She confessed planning to use found names to distress me and ease her frustrations. She'd resented my pregnancy for months and sought to spoil something for me as her fertility woes spoiled for her. Marcus was enraged, not just over prying, but Rachel's admission of naming their son to wound me. He demanded she apologize to David and me at once. Rachel refused. She said I embarrassed her with the setup and wouldn't apologize. She labeled me manipulative and accused me of turning the family against her. This sparked a massive argument between Rachel and Marcus. He noted she'd caused it all by invading our belongings and attempting name theft out of malice. Rachel accused him of siding with me over his wife. The fight intensified when Marcus said he'd never liked Noah James and was glad for Jordan Ollie. Rachel yelled she despised Jordan Ollie and wished she'd never had the baby if not a girl. Marcus left that night and stayed with David's parents for 3 weeks. He's cared for baby Jordan days while Rachel works, returning him evenings. They barely communicate. David's mother is stuck mediating, aiding both grandsons as Marcus and Rachel navigate their union. She's tense from the ordeal and concerned for baby Jordan amid the strife. Rachel has told listeners I'm awful for ruining her marriage with schemes. She's persuaded some of Marcus's colleagues and distant relatives I'm cunning and harsh. David is livid with his brother and Rachel for involving our newborns in their mess. He wants no contact until they resolve issues. I agree, but David's mother pleads we avoid deepening family rifts. I didn't foresee my test revealing such dysfunction in Rachel and Marcus's relationship. I just wanted to confirm name theft suspicions. Now a baby is amid parents who can't share space. Part of me feels culpable for initiating this sequence, But mostly I think Rachel's conduct was bound to erupt eventually. I merely sparked the reveal. Third update: Rachel and Marcus divorced, and Rachel has vanished from our circle entirely. The split proceeded swiftly since their marriage was 6 years and they owned little jointly. Marcus kept the apartment rental and furnishings. Rachel returned to her parents. 2 hours away, custody for baby Jordan was the main battle. Rachel first sought full custody, arguing Marcus's erratic schedule made him unreliable. Marcus countered with Rachel's statement wishing no baby. David's mother testified on Rachel's actions in the name saga, including her spiteful intent against me. The judge disliked using a child's name as family weapon. Marcus gained primary custody with Rachel's supervised visits bi-weekly. She must travel to our city for visits, as the judge avoided constant infant travel. David's parents oversee at their home. For the first month, Rachel attended visits and complied, but seemed aloof from Jordan, often passing him to David's mother while using her phone or TV. Then Rachel began skipping visits, one at first, then consecutive, then months without. She stopped replying to Marcus on rescheduling. When David's mother reached out, Rachel's phone went to voicemail. Social media showed Rachel dating a new man met via work pre-move. Her posts depicted them traveling, dining, living carefree like young singles. Marcus was heartbroken. Despite all, he'd hoped Rachel would rise as a mother for Jordan. He'd grappled with guilt over their failed marriage and pondered alternative handling. David's mother helped Marcus with daycare while working. She became Jordan's main daytime caregiver. Fitting since she already watches my 3 often. The cousins grow up close, benefiting all. Rachel appeared once more at David's grandma's 80th birthday last month. She arrived uninvited with her boyfriend, expecting warm reception as if nothing occurred. Tension rose immediately. Rachel's boyfriend seemed awkward realizing the dynamics. Rachel acted normal, requesting to hold Jordan and noting his growth. Marcus reclaimed Jordan shortly and said she wasn't allowed outside scheduled times. Rachel claimed family rights to events. David's dad intervened, saying she'd forfeited unannounced appearances by ignoring her son months and slandering kin. He requested she and her boyfriend depart. Rachel cried, saying all turned on her over non-fault issues. She accused me of life ruin via manipulation and that no one heard her version. I'd stayed silent during the clash, but that remark prompted me, I told. Rachel invading my belongings and attempting spiteful name theft was her decision, not mine. I said she'd crafted her life's problems and must cease blaming others. Rachel hurled unrepeatable insults and wished lifelong misery on me. Her boyfriend, embarrassed, urged her out. They exited amid her shouts at kin. That was 2 months ago. Rachel hasn't contacted family since. Marcus learned via shared friends she and her boyfriend relocated out of state. She's told people her ex's family blocked son access. False, but simpler than admitting she prioritized her new romance over her kid. Marcus thrives as solo dad. Jordan is joyful, robust, beaming at dad or grandparents. Marcus recently started seeing a co-worker with 2 kids from past marriage. She comprehends his situation and bonds with Jordan. Regarding me, I don't rue the name trap. Rachel's response to exposure showed her true nature. Someone abandoning their baby over petty exposure wasn't fit for motherhood. My twins flourish, and my elder son adores sibling role. David and I are exhausted, but content with our trio. David's bond with Marcus strengthened through this. They chat often and back each other as dads. Family events are calmer without Rachel's turmoil and pessimism. David's mother focuses on grandparenting over Rachel's moods. Even David's dad, typically aloof in disputes, notes everyone's ease. People sometimes ask if I regret the outcome. Truthfully, I didn't prompt Rachel to forsake her baby or wreck her marriage. I just set a scenario revealing her character. She could have owned the snooping gracefully, apologized, and proceeded. Instead, she torched all ties over accountability avoidance. Jordan is better without a mom resenting his birth. Marcus is better without a spouse who settled and yearned for another. The family is better without constant drama. My name ploy succeeded beyond imagination. I aimed to snag Rachel nosing and mildly shame her. Instead, I inadvertently aided a baby's escape from toxic parenting and Marcus's from bad marriage. Occasionally, the best aid is providing rope for self-sabotage. Now, on to the next tale, Tale 2. After years striving for a child, My spouse strayed with my closest buddy and conceived. Now they expect me to parent the child as mine. But I ended the marriage. I never envisioned sharing my pain with online strangers. But here goes. I'm Matt, a 32-year-old man, and my life flipped upside down. I've been wed to Sophie, 30 and female, for 5 years. We met in college. We connected at a school gathering. I recall her eyes sparkling as she discussed marine biology passion. Our connection began platonically. We'd study in the library, sip coffee between lectures, and socialize with pals. Not until senior year did it turn romantic, at a seaside fire. Watching waves, Sophie said she was developing feelings for me. My heart raced. I'd felt the same for months, but feared ruining friendship. From then, we were inseparable. Postgrad. We got jobs in the same town. I joined a marketing company. Sophie pursued aquarium work. We cohabited after a year in a cramped apartment, barely holding our stuff. But we were joyful constructing our future step by step. 2 years in, I proposed. I orchestrated a surprise with friends and kin's help. I led Sophie on a city treasure hunt revisiting favorite places. The last hint took her to her aquarium. Before the massive shark exhibit, I knelt. She accepted before I finished. Our wedding was happy, full of joy and affection. My best pal Mark, 33 and male, was best man. Mark and I bonded in high school over basketball and bad sci-fi flicks. He'd supported me through life's big moments. I couldn't picture the day without him. Early marriage years were great. Sophie and I progressed professionally. I advanced to senior manager. Sophie became head biologist. We bought a modest 3-bedroom home with yard for imagined kids. Mark stayed integral. He visited so often we joked about his residency. He'd join meals, games, trips. I never suspected issues. I appreciated my wife and pals' rapport. A year ago, Sophie and I discussed kids. We'd always wanted family. Feeling ready financially and emotionally, we were thrilled. Envisioning our children's looks and names, months passed without success. Worry grew. We stayed upbeat, saying time was needed. But strain appeared. Sophie tracked cycles obsessively. Our once free intimacy became routine. After a year failing, we consulted a specialist. Dr. Johnson kindly tested us. Results devastated. Low sperm count hindering natural conception. It crushed me. I felt inadequate, failing Sophie's family dream. Though she reassured, I saw her sadness. We explored IVF, adoption, but continued trying naturally with lifestyle tweaks and supplements. Then, Sophie seemed aloof. She worked late more, texted constantly. I attributed it to stress from work and fertility. I buried in work for distraction. Mark visited more, supporting, cheering us. He'd deliver food when Sophie late or invite drinks when I down. I valued his friendship in tough times. Retrospectively, how was I oblivious? Last week, it collapsed. I had short work day. Planned to surprise Sophie with balloons and dinner. Seeing Mark's car outside. I thought casual visit. Entering, sounds from upstairs. Ascending, heart pounded inexplicably. Opening bedroom. The view seared. Sophie and Mark entangled. Oblivious at first. Shock. Betrayal indescribable. Ground vanished. I must have noised. They noticed. Faces horror. They babbled excuses. I fled. Their voices fading as I drove off. I wandered hours, mind looping the scene. Returning, Sophie waited. Eyes swollen from tears. She pleaded forgiveness, calling it error, affirming love. As she spoke, betrayal depth emerged. She admitted 6-month affair with Mark. Worst, pregnant. Mark's child, careless protection, assuming my issues meant safety. Irony overwhelming. I've hotel stayed days, processing. Sophie calls/texts endlessly, begging chance. Says mistake from loneliness. Insecurity over fertility. Swears love. Wants marriage fix. Mark voicemails apologies. Vows amends. But forgiveness impossible for deepest betrayal from trusted duo. My parents. Siblings supportive. Sister Rachel, 28 female, checks daily, brings food, offers comfort. Parents provide lodging. Help lawyer search. Grateful, but lost, alone. Our built home. Shared dreams. Tainted. Then the baby. Desired child inside wife. By best friend. Emotions complex. I must decide soon. Attempt repair for history? Trust possible? Or leave, restart? And the child? Though not biological, some tie to our wanted baby. Angry, hurt, confused. Advice welcome. Never expected this. Unsure navigation. How rebuild when solid base was lies. First update. A month since post. Update time. Thanks for kind advice. Support vital. After introspection, family talks, therapy, filing divorce, betrayal too profound. Not just affair, but deceit months unbearable. Deserve better than cheating wife with best friend. Filing drained emotionally. Paperwork like burying dreamed life. Lawyer Sandra, firm yet kind, guides rights. Expectations, Sophie tried contesting. Claiming reparable, long emails of regret. Marriage salvage desire, suggested. Therapy, but I stand firm. No trust rebuild. Cut mark ties. He reached out, even to parents' home. Seeing him stirred anger. Clarified no contact. Blocked all. Odd. Longtime life part now stranger. Hardest. Sophie's pregnancy. For months. Showing. Tough seeing her town. Anger. Resentment to baby. Though innocent. Yet yearn for planned family. Visible betrayal stabs. Sophie asked reconsider. Raised together. Loves me. Can't imagine daily reminder. Family rock. Rachel ensures meals. No wallowing. Helps apartment hunt. Can't stay parents forever. Unwavering aid bright and dark. Work distracts. Extra projects. Boss John understanding. Flexible for meetings. Grateful. But focus hard amid turmoil. Therapy regular with Dr. Martinez. Processing emotions. Fertility inadequacy. Neutral perspective helpful when lost. Moving forward. Focus rebuild. Workout routine. Mind clearing. Reconnected old friends. Nice people beyond Sophie/Mark. Road uncertain. Mornings normal briefly. Then reality hits. Drowning. Taking day by day. Hopeful heal. Find love someday. Now self-focus. Healing. Coming months challenging with proceedings. Pregnancy. Committed forward. Own terms. Thanks support. Means much. Second update. 3 months post last. Much occurred. Divorce advances. Asset division. Painful life reminder. Items like torn memories. House sold. Strangers touring surreal. Sophie 6 months pregnant. Unavoidable. Bump prominent. Betrayal reminder each site. Still contacts. Pregnancy updates. Reconsider please. Last week. Ultrasound copy sent. Grainy image stirred emotions unprepared. Maintained divorce. Hard to block fully. Some care lingers despite. Confusing. Anger. Betrayal. Worry. Residual love. Ran into Mark coffee shop last month. First since discovery. Sight mixed. Anger. Sorrow. Loss. He apologized. Eyes begging. Couldn't listen. Left wordless. Emotions surging. Encounter tough days. Replaying friendship memories. Camps. Games. Wingmen. All soiled. Hard reconcile thought person with betrayer. Positive. Own apartment. Small one bed. But mine. Rachel. Friends helped move/decorate. Less lonely. Odd solo after years with Sophie. But freeing. Dating cautiously. Colleague set with Emily. 29 female. Few dates. Not serious ready. Companionship nice. Emily knows. Patient slow pace. Refreshing with someone fresh view. Not past lens. Work fulfilling. Recent promotion. Responsibilities welcome challenge. Mind occupied. Grateful career growth. Family bond stronger. Parents constant. Closer siblings. Weekly dinners comforting routine. Surrounded unconditional love. Key amid inadequacy. Betrayal. As due date nears. Conflicting baby emotions. Hurt. Betrayed. Yet wonder. Sophie's eyes. Mark's smile. Know me? Decided therapist discuss boundaries for possible future limited contact if chosen. Divorce final soon. Dread. Anticipate. End chapter. Start new. Focus future. Authentic life. Day by day. Mental health. Growth. Pain lingers. Less frequent. Learning trust self. Others. Cautiously optimistic future. Third update. 6 months post last. Final thoughts this life phase. Divorce finalized 2 months back. Official marriage end. Signing surreal. Hesitated. Pen hovering as memories flashed. Signed. Relief/sadness mix. Sophie birthed boy 3 months ago. Despite hesitations. Saw baby once for closure. Surreal holding child could have been mine differently. Has Sophie's nose. Mark's eyes. Held. Mixed. Connection twinge. What if sadness. Odd peace. Momentary tie. Reaffirmed move on. Mark contacted post-birth. Meet request. Deliberated. Agreed neutral cafe. Tense. Emotional. Discussed friendship, betrayal. Aftermath. No friendship foreseen, but released anger. Closure step. Forgiveness distant. Personally, growth focus. New hobbies. Climbing, photography. New friends, experiences. Climbing therapeutic. Pushes limits. Rebuilds confidence. Emily relationship steady slow. Day by day. Understanding valuable. Bright spot tough year. Reminds joy. Trust possible. Work thriving. Led major project. Success opens possibilities excited. Work positive distraction. Rebuilds worth. Purpose. Family support strong. Rachel expecting first. Eager uncle. Reminder life continues. Joys emerge post-pain. Weekly dinners ongoing. Love source. Reflecting past 18 months. Amazed change. Painful betrayal. Heartbreak led unexpected growth. Discovery. Learned resilience. Forgiveness capacity. Not yet. Self-stand. Sadness. Anger moments less. Learning trust. Future unknown. Face optimistic. Unknown strength. To similar sufferers. Healing possible. Not easy. Overnight no. But time. Support. Self-care forward. Happiness again. No timeline. Good/bad days okay. Thanks support. Advice. Kindness immense. Closing chapter. Eager next own terms.